Thanks, Chrissy. It is a great time to be in mining, and particularly as a junior miner. We've never sort of seen so much capital that's coming our way, and it's unprecedented, the amount of capital that we see coming into particularly the battery metal space. So it's a great place to be as a miner, looking forward and looking to mine in a green and sustainable way. So we'll be talking today about the way that you can get exposure to this green electrification and EV movement through the Blackstone story. This is a movement that is global, and it's bigger than any movement we've seen previously. So the previous mining boom was driven by China. Clearly this is much bigger than that. This is a global movement towards green and sustainable future for our future generations. So we have a district scale nickel sulfide opportunity over in northern Vietnam, and we'll talk about that, and we'll talk about the normal mining stuff. But then what's interesting about our story is that we've got the ability to build a downstream nickel refining business, and we're going to produce the first stage of the lithium-ion battery, which is the NCM precursor. So it's a nickel, cobalt, manganese precursor product, and it's a chemical product which is the first stage of the lithium-ion battery. And you can see that's what's driving that significant amount of demand that's coming for nickel. So you can see at the moment the nickel demand for batteries is around 259,000 tonnes, and as an industry we need to find 1 million tonnes, which is actually the whole current supply of class 1 nickel we need to find and produce very quickly, because this movement is coming very quickly. So we're listed. The BSX is the code. We're also listed on the OTC American markets as well as the German markets. We have a very supportive German shareholder there, Deutsche Balaton, with 17%. We have EcoPro, and we'll talk more about EcoPro. They're the largest cathode manufacturer in the world, and they're a South Korean battery end user. And we also have Fidelity, which is one of the largest institutional investors in the world, and they were very focused on our ESG and green nickel credentials. Board and management have a strong position, well funded, so 19 million at the last quarterly. And that's going to get us through these next phases of studies and exciting news flow to come. You can see we've got Mr. Jung, who's the representative of EcoPro. So he's the representative from EcoPro, and we've also just added Alison Gaines as a ESG expert. So she's a corporate governance expert, and that's just shows our commitment towards ESG. And then we've got Hamish, Andrew, and I. Your standard mining executives, geologists, and I'm a mining engineer, so there's a bit of mining in there as well. So you can see this is the top 10 cathode manufacturers in the world, and you've got EcoPro, who is our current partner, as the largest. So LG is the second largest. There's a number of Korean players in this top 10. You can see Samsung. There's also POSCO down the bottom. You've got the Japanese Sumitomo in there. So this is a movement that's really based around the major players being South Korea, China and Japan, and you've also got some European names coming through as well. You've got BASF and Umicore out of Europe. So you can see that the flow of capital is coming from these gigafactories. So there's over 200 gigafactories in the pipeline. There's in the order of $60 billion has been committed at that gigafactory level, and unfortunately it hasn't come down to the mines yet. So that capital that's been deployed at this level has no idea where it's getting its nickel from. So it's a significant opportunity for investors in the junior mining space to get exposure to that, because that will drive strong commodity prices and stronger equity valuations. Our downstream business is built on the ability to purchase nickel concentrate from our mine, but also nickel concentrate from other third-party providers in Australia, Canada, Africa. We will purchase our nickel concentrate from all around the world. We'll ship it into Vietnam. We'll use the hydro renewable power The very competitive low labour costs in Vietnam will drive a very strong margin. So you can see we purchased the nickel concentrate for 70 to 80% payability, or a discount to the nickel metal price. The NCM 811 product trades at a 30 to 40% premium to the nickel metal price, so 130 to 140% payability. So significant value uplift from our downstream business. This is a VinFast car, and so VinFast is an electric vehicle conglomerate in Vietnam. So this is Vietnam's answer to Tesla, and I'm hearing that these cars will actually make it to Australia, and one day these Vietnamese VinFast cars will be driving around Australia. VinFast is looking to list on the Nasdaq with a $50 billion IPO in the coming months. You can see there the labour costs compared to China. So our cost of operating is half of the operating costs of China, and this is we believe an emerging growth hub for electronics manufacturing and also lithium-ion batteries, and now the electric vehicle. So when we talk about green nickel, it's all about the ability to use the hydro renewable power. We're moving towards a zero carbon product. Most nickel mines are on tired infrastructure that is set up on coal and diesel powered infrastructure. We're looking at a hydrometallurgical process which is much better suited to the chemical process for the lithium-ion battery. Most of the nickel mines around at the moment are set up for the stainless steel industry. It's a pyrometallurgical process. It's not as green as what we're looking to do. So we have an opportunity to build a clean, green downstream business for the lithium-ion battery industry. So we've got two parts to our business. We have the upstream business and the downstream. The upstream is the nickel mine. It was an previously operating mine between 2013 and 2016. Previous owners sunk $136 million into the capital infrastructure. So we've got a concentrator there ready to go. We own 90%. We also have a partnership with Trafigura as a feedstock partner. They will also feed third-party feed from Trafigura, and other third-party nickel miners will come into our downstream business. We'll just focus on the upstream to start with. So we're moving through the drill out phase. We've got 5 different ore bodies that we're drilling out. And we'll have a PFS on the upstream business later in the year, moving into the DFS next year, and then restarting the existing concentrator in 2023, and then feeding that concentrate into our downstream business in 2024. So this is our district scale opportunity. We have 25 targets. We have outcropping massive sulfide at surface, untested and undrilled. We have in the order of 10 drill rigs operating at the moment. We have 2 EM crews, two geophysics crews walking through this district, uncovering the massive sulfide opportunities. We believe that we will be mining here for the next 10 to 20 years. So what we did is, instead of drilling out those small high-grade ore bodies, we went to the largest ore body we could see. This is the Banfuck Disseminated. This is a large open pit opportunity, very similar to the Mount Keith nickel mine in Western Australia. So this is a large bulk tonnage open pit mining scenario. So you can see there's nickel in the order of 300,000 tonnes there. Significant copper, cobalt, platinum, palladium credits as well. So low strip ratio, bulk open pit mining. We put that into a scoping study late last year. You can see an NPV of $665 million. So today's exchange rate, we're looking at in the order of $1 billion NPV on that first ore body. That ore body is then pushed into the downstream to produce the NCM 811, and that's what's driving a lot of these strong economics, is the fact that the value uplift that comes from that downstream business. So you can see they're very strong IRR, 45%. NPV to capex ratio on this study was 2 times, so 2 times NPV to capex ratio, very strong economics on this initial ore body. We're now drilling out a number of these high-grade ore bodies. They can go through the existing concentrator. The existing concentrator allows us to reduce the upfront capital required at the upstream level, And these small high-grade ore bodies are well suited to the existing 450,000 tonne per annum concentrator, allows us to turn that on and create some cash flow. We'll then use that to build a second concentrator, which was the numbers that we previously saw. So you can see here we're looking, we've got the existing concentrator, we have the hydro renewable power, which is driving very low power costs, 7 cents per kilowatt hour, but is giving us those green credentials that are really important for those downstream electric vehicle manufacturers. We're pushing it through to that NCM 811, which is the black powder, and we're in this emerging hub for the lithium-ion battery. LG is looking to build a $2 billion lithium-ion battery plant at the Haiphong port nearby the mine. You can see the picture there of Haiphong. So you've got the Haiphong port, which is, so VinFast and LG are looking to build this $2 billion plant for the lithium-ion battery to go into the VinFast electric vehicle, two of the largest hydro power dams in Southeast Asia. So we've got this Sonla Hydro, which our existing concentrator is already hooked into, and that's what's driving our green credentials. And we've also got a second hydro dam downstream as well. So we'll now look at the downstream business. So the upstream business will feed into the downstream business. Our upstream business will feed up to 50% of our downstream, and up to 50% of our downstream business will come from third-party providers and from Australia, Canada, Africa, and other jurisdictions. So you can see we'll have downstream partners, which is EcoPro and other major players, which will help fund this downstream business. We'll have feedstock partners like Trafigura and other nickel miners. We will bring other nickel miners into this downstream business, and we'll offer them the opportunity for the value uplift that their concentrate brings. So PFS for that downstream business is very close within the next few weeks. The numbers are looking very good, and we're very happy with the preliminary numbers coming from that PFS. So look out for the PFS in the coming weeks. Then we'll move straight into the DFS and the pilot plant phase. That's a really important phase where we bring in our partners, both offtake, feedstock partners and downstream customers. They will work with us to get the specs right for their particular battery chemistry. At the end of that pilot plant phase, we lock in those partnerships. With those partnerships come significant injections of capital. To put that into perspective, LG have come out and said they're going to put $10 billion into Indonesia. So this is a significant capital that's coming into this space. So then we lock in the offtakes, joint venture agreements. The debt that will come with those will be associated with those large players. And then we start into that build phase late next year into 2023, and then producing the NCM 811 product in 2024. So this is our flow sheet. It's a pressure oxidation process. It's a tried and tested technology used all through the mining industry. Solvent extraction. This is tried and tested technology. We're combining the two industries. So we're working closely with the chemical engineers at EcoPro, working very closely with our chemical engineers. So there's a collaboration of the downstream chemical refining of EcoPro and the mining expertise of our team in this flow sheet. You can see we have copper as a byproduct, as well as the leach residue. You can see the leach residue will actually have platinum, palladium, gold, rhodium in that leach residue. We're looking at doing a further leach on that residue to extract the precious metals as well. So there's significant byproduct credits from copper and those precious metals. The cobalt in our ore body comes through into the NCM 811. We will have to purchase cobalt sulfate and manganese sulfate to produce the NCM 811 product. So you can see this refining business, we're looking at two scenarios that we will put in the PFS. We're looking at a 2-train and a 4-train scenario. Each of those trains or little factories there is 200,000 tonnes per annum of nickel concentrate, so 20,000 tonnes per annum of nickel. The 4-train scenario will produce in the order of 80,000 tonnes per annum of nickel. That puts this business in the top 5 Class 1 globally Class 1 nickel producers in the world. It's the same scale as BHP's Nickel West business. We are looking to build a significantly, a globally significant downstream nickel refining business, and we will do that with our third-party providers. We will also look at other opportunities to bring in concentrate from other nickel mining companies, and there's a number of nickel concentrates or concentrators in the market that are currently under care and maintenance that would feed well into this downstream business, and the value uplift that comes from that downstream NCM product. So just in summary, so this is where we are up in northern Vietnam. So you can see the Hai Phong port. So this is LG and Samsung, VinFast are located down at the Hai Phong port. That's where the electric vehicles will be produced. There's an opportunity that our nickel goes all the way through to an electric vehicle in Hai Phong. We can see there's the two hydro dams. We have the Hua Bin and Son La Hydro, the rail infrastructure, so we can bring concentrate in and product out into, towards the port. So we believe that this is an emerging hub for the electronics, lithium-ion battery and the electric vehicle. We are well positioned with our partnerships in South Korea. We've done a number of trips to Seoul. I've done over 8 trips to Seoul now. It's, we believe, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to get involved in what is a global movement towards electrification of vehicles. And thank you for your time.